Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is September 15th, 8:20 a.m. And let's get into this market. Let's get into the market. What do we let's get right into the daily chart. See what we had going on for yesterday. Let's see. So, we have the SPY daily. Let's put that up there. All right, let's get my marker out. All right. All right. So, what happened yesterday in SPY? So, we kind of just balanced, kind of made a new low, and then at the during the close we kind of found some buyers, liquidated some short, squeezed some shorts, and kind of had like a doji candle. You can see right here we found support at the trend line. Okay, found support right there, and we kind of just bounced off. Didn't go over the key level I talked about yesterday in the ES. We couldn't, we popped above it, but then we found resistance and found sellers, and then we just kind of rotated for the session, which after a big move is understandable, right? Um, let's go check out the Qs, and then I'll go back and look at some levels in those guys and those indexes. Let's look at the Qs. Okay, so Qs, same thing, right? We almost made a double bottom here, right? And we found support at the trend line. Right, we found support at that trend line. So let me actually get rid of this trend line here. All right, and actually let me fix this trend line while I'm here. Okay, so the Qs has a special level to it that, oof, when we break it, that's gonna take us down to the next level. All right, so let's get back into the SPY and let's look at maybe some levels we can look at today, right? So everybody, the swing low obviously is a level to look at. The swing low here, 388.69. So, but let's look at the volume profile here. So this is a key resistance level in the SPY. It's 395.99. Okay, you can see this resistance here. Okay, a destination could be the 388. So we're looking for this to hold today, and maybe we break lows and come down to 388. Okay, so that's what we're seeing in a SPY. As far as the Qs, let's go to this Qs. Same thing, right? Let's go to Qs. Okay, so in the Qs, we also have a swing low here, and that's what's that? 290.87. Okay, we need to break this trend line. But in the Qs, there's a key, very, very, very key support level here. Now, ultimately, can we come down to 288.38, right? But then we have this key level here. This level, 292.79, has just been literally touched so many times. So 292.79. Actually, let me set out alert right now. All right, so that's a very key level. We break that, we're probably going down to 290 and maybe 288, right? Like I said. So just keep those in mind. I'm not sure if the TNX has opened yet. Let me see. Let's look at my fortune teller here. All right. So TNX is just rising. So today, TNX is up 1.44%. It's at 3.46. Look at that. We're almost back at the highs where we put in a low. You see that? That is poof, a little foreshadowing there, okay? Now we were in this consolidation and now we're kind of breaking out of it and moving higher. So this is probably showing us the hand a little bit in the 10-year yield, okay? This isn't rocket science either. We just got huge bad news. And quantitative tightening is about to pick up more from the Fed, okay? And September 21st is the FOMC meeting where they're going to talk about how much they're raising interest rates again. And I showed yesterday that there's a good chance for a 75% hike, and there's now some probability for 100%, which I don't find likely, but like 75% is definitely on the table. Okay, and we're in September, which is seasonally bearish, right? So everything's kind of coming to a head. All right, the writing is kind of on the wall. So let's get into those. Let's just go today. We got some economic news coming. I just wanted to show everybody that. Let's go to that real quick. So today, what do we got? We got core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index. Those are horrible circles, and I apologize for that. So we got core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, retail sales month after month, and the Philly Fed, and unemployment claims. Wow, that's coming in 3 minutes. Is it a market mover? Could be. Could be. We'll have to see, right? And then tomorrow we have University of Michigan's consumer sentiment, and then University of Michigan inflation expectations tomorrow. Okay. And this is what I was talking about on the 21st, FOMC. That's horrible. So FOMC here. Oof. Lots of news, right? Lots of news. So we're going to get into those futures now, okay? Give me a second here. Give me 1 second while I pull these up here. Alrighty. Alright, so let's see what we got. Now yesterday, like I said, ES came up to here. Actually, check that out. Single prints, right? The single prints acted as resistance here. They couldn't. They cleaned a tiny bit, but then couldn't go into the single prints, right? As far and that key level, right? Also overnight high. Okay, and then what did we do? We kind of just came down, and then finally we made like new lows. Okay, and then we ramped up here into the most traded price. So now, what do we have, right? We have what I always talk about is the volume profile, is value. So now, the most traded price of the week, the last 5 days, is 39.64. The market has moved value lower. Okay? So the market's accepting these lower prices. That is bearish. Okay? That is bearish. So you can see the composite profile up here, right? We got real thin up top, right? Kind of pushed out here, thin, but then boom, look at that. Nice value, right? So it's very bearish. This is our first wall. The most traded price of the month, 4,004. Okay. And we're built value down here lower. Okay, so that is bearish. And this will be our first line that the bulls have to break. Then they have to come up here and break this one to get any kind of footing. Right? So what's happening now? So right now, we were holding in this little range for a while until we broke it. Okay. So still kind of balanced. We still have, finding some buyers again. But like this is all just the news just came out. So I don't know. Let's look at that actually. Just for a sec. Let's just look at that news real quick. What's any significance? Let's see. Okay, so core retail sales came under. Empire State Manufacturing. Oh, it's not as bad as expected. Retail sales were better than expected. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index was worse than expected. Unemployment claims was better than expected, which is not good, not that great. Expecting 225, got 213. Okay. Let's go back. Alrighty. So got that little news break. So we gotta we're inside yesterday's range. Okay. This is yesterday's range. Not telling us a whole lot. Okay. But we're accepting prices lower. So and we're underneath the most traded price of the week. So we're still bearish, right? We just haven't made that big move lower, but I think we're queuing up for a big move. Okay. So let's look at the Nasdaq. All right, let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so Nasdaq. Nasdaq is a little weaker than the ES. We're down 0.29%. We already know what happened to the Nasdaq, right? However, these are the lows that are like very important in the Nasdaq. Almost have a triple bottom here. And if we come down here again and break that, that's going to send us lower. Okay, that's that important level. Okay. So in the Nasdaq, we actually, came up higher in the overnight than the session, but we're still inside the session now. Price is right here. Okay. Price is right at 121.70. Now again, we have the most traded price of the month here, which is a tough level to get through. I talked about this yesterday. Okay. So let's see what we have here. We're balancing lower. Okay. And those unemployment numbers were not good. You want to see the labor market, have more unemployment claims. Not less. That means the Fed has to tighten more. That means the Fed has to be more aggressive. The labor market needs to soften. Okay? But obviously, the biggest news was the other day with inflation. So, really quickly, I want to go into one of my favorite charts just to show you guys, and I didn't bring it up yesterday, and I should have, is that what we have going in the ES and the NASDAQ, which I talked about, volume profile, right? And I talked about the most traded price of the months, weeks, years. Um, if we just look at the ES, okay, and I talked about, to talk about it briefly because, if you hear a lot about the volume points of control is what I really talk about, the most traded prices, okay? And it's just a beautiful thing because that's how the market works, right? So if we just go over what's happened, right? So look at this, most traded price of the week, right? Where did we go to? We went to the most traded price of this month and the most traded price of the year. And I said, big moves happen from this level. Okay? Big moves. What happens? Big move happened, right? And where did we go? We went down here, right? And we created the most traded price of September right here, this hot pink line, right? So look what happened. This is the beautiful thing, right? When we balanced down here and we started to get that bear market rally, we ripped, and where did we go? Right here, most traded price of the year and the most traded price of last month, right? And where did that move begin from? Here again, right? And where did we go? Right back to this level that we already balanced. That's how it works. It's as simple as it works. Now, I'm not saying intraday it's as easy as pie like that, but in a macro level, that's how it works. Balance to breakout. Balance to breakout. That's how the market works. Okay? Hopefully this is clear. And I mentioned that when we were up here, if we're going to go here, it's a wall, and the move's going to happen from here. And I said if we come back, we would come down here, and that's exactly where we are now. Okay? So let's look at the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ has even a more important level, if you noticed. Talked about this the other day. So this now, the price we're right around right now, is the most traded price of the year in the NASDAQ. So over the last year and over the last into the year to date, okay? So it's not just this year. It's from a year ago. This has been the most traded price. So they're both equal now. The most traded price of 2022 and the most traded price since September of 2021 to now is there. And that price is 121.27. 121.27, right? So no secret, right? While we're stopped here, these levels are walls, right? This hot pink line. These are magnets to the market. Okay, you could even see, okay, the most traded price of, what was that, August, right here, this hot pink line. That's where we've stopped. So that's a beautiful thing, right? We came from here, moved down to here, balanced, and the NASDAQ shot right up to this level, came right back down to this level, right? So market is bearish right now, okay? Not good things on the horizon. So we're looking to move lower, okay? We're looking to move lower. And that's how it works. That's how the market works. It's got to take a rest somewhere and then make a next move. So this is just coiling energy. These are 4-hour candles. This is coiling. This is like a spring. and it's about to break. And you can see, even on these 4-hour candles, right, you can see where do we have those support levels. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-hour candles that have acted as support. If we come down there and break it, it's going to be a nice move. Okay, it's going to be a nice move. All right, let's go to some key levels. Okay, what do we got here? So our key resistance level, okay, in the ES is 39.7650. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, Stevie Wonder can see this resistance line here. Look at that. Whew. That's a lot of candles that have been stopped there. All right. So this was a key support overnight that got broken now. So we broke it. Okay. Now we just came up to it, so it's acting as resistance. 39.62 is now acting as resistance. Okay. So next level down, we got support level of 39.29. Also have a demand zone here. That when we went into it, we caught a bid. We pushed higher. Okay. So now it's kind of like, do we break out here? Or do we break this low here? Right? And I think our destination would be 39.03 in the ES. Okay, support. I mean, again, Stevie Wonder could see the bear flag here. Boo. But I don't put much weight into that. It is, so I can't say it's not. But let's move on to the Qs. To the Nasdaq. Okay. And what do we got? So we got a 122.60 resistance line. Okay. I had an overnight support line here at 122.03 that got broken. Trying to come up above it, found sellers, now we're below it. Okay, so that will be resistance now, 122.03. Now, huge level, most traded price of the year, 121.31.50. That's that wall. Okay, it's going to be tough to go through, but when we do and break it, it's going to be a nice move lower. Okay, if we do, this is tough. See this? That's a lot of transactions there. Okay, and that's that big support line. Okay, the big one is 120.89.50 in the Nasdaq. That is like, you break that, that is a lot of longs that are going to get liquidated. Okay, and I don't know if this happens today. I don't know, but if it does, it's key, right? So those are the levels there. Let's look at the zoomed in market profile, maybe get a little game plan for today. And today I'm actually going to show it to you. Yesterday I didn't show it, but today I'm going to show it to you, and I apologize for that from yesterday. All right, there it is. I'm looking at it. I got confirmation I can see it. All right. To make sure I definitely see what I'm looking at, right? 1 second before I get into that. So let's talk about some things here, okay? Now, one of a loyal watcher wanted me to. I just read a message. He wanted me to call out most traded prices. Okay, so I could do that right now. So right now, in the 24-hour session in the futures, the most traded price of the week is 39.64. Okay, 39.64. The most traded price of all sessions in the Nasdaq is 121.43. Those are the most traded prices of the week. Okay, and the most traded price of the month in the Nasdaq is 121.20. 121.20. The most traded price of the month for the ES is 4,004. Okay. So hopefully that clarifies the levels. Okay. So what do we got going, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is not easy to just be like what's gonna happen today, right? Because we could balance again. We could definitely balance again. I mean, we're starting to have a bracket, right? Highs here, highs there. Let's just say this low's here, right? Can we keep doing this? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe, right? Maybe. So if I look at the session, we're kind of balanced, right? The mid is here. We're right in the middle. We're by settlement of yesterday. We're by yesterday's close, okay? So it's really hard to say, right? So what I would say is this. I'm not going to tell you, ooh, I know what's happening today, because I don't. All right, I don't. We made a huge move, and now we're balancing. Okay, we're balancing, which is bearish. Okay, that is bearish. We're holding value lower. We're establishing these prices lower. Okay, so that's bearish in the macro sense. But for the intradays, right? My one scenario would be this. Okay, I feel we can go up, open, go higher, and let's see if we can touch this 39.76 level. And again, one or two things happens. We touch it, come above it a little bit, and we come back down. And I think we could balance here, come back down, and maybe even balance here. Okay, that's one. Or on this move, we go a little higher, come into these single prints, and then I think we still come down, and we can fall and balance. Okay, those are two things, right? Catch the theme, right? That's more of a balancing theme, right? More of a balancing theme. So I think we could also do the other way. Come up, find sellers, take out the overnight lows, come all the way down to 39.29, break it, come above it, and we can come back up and maybe balance too. That's another way to look at it. Okay. Now, of course, we got to talk about that key level, right? Of the 39.29 in the ES. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about a bear scenario, right? I think we definitely could open up, find some buyers, come up here, one or two things. We go to overnight highs, or we can't, and we stay here in balance, and then we just start selling off, take the overnight lows out, come down here, come down to 39.29, pop below it, pop above it, but then we break it and we go lower to 39.03. That's the bear scenario. Okay. Then let's look at the NASDAQ, right? Let's look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at the NASDAQ. So not much different I have here, but the levels obviously are different than the NASDAQ, right? So now the NASDAQ is a weaker right now, okay? But the same, you know, scenario, okay? So the one thing, let me see if I can get this in here because it's not showing me. It might disappear yet. Let me move it in a little bit. Okay. So that's that key level, right? 120.8950 is that support level. And we got 1, 2, 3 sessions. All right. So keep that in mind. It's more of a equal level than in the ES, okay? Keep that in mind. So let's go with some scenarios here. So I think the same thing, okay? Same thing. I think we could maybe find some sellers off the open, come back up here, play around with this level, and then we can come up to these 122.60 in one or two things. We come up, boom, hit supply, find sellers, come down, kind of chop here for a little bit, come down, break this level, come up to it again, break it again, and we're going lower. Okay, if that gets broken. Now again, I said that, very well could be balanced today. Very well could be balanced today. So we could also just pop up, come here, find sellers, balance here, come down, break this level, still in this demand zone, pop up and balance at 121.43. That's also what could be in the cards, because this level's strong, right? But strong level could be broken. That's a strong move down. So until it's not a strong support no more, that's what you have to look at. Okay. So don't know. I don't know. TNX rising. This is just, we could balance again today. Now tomorrow, just keep in mind, okay? Tomorrow is quad witching. Okay? You have ES futures rolling over. You have a monthly expiry as well of options. So you got a lot of expirations for options tomorrow. Okay? So that's a big day tomorrow. So with way dealers and market makers work, puts are expiring tomorrow. A lot of puts, right? So we have to see what that does. Does that give a little market bounce because market makers now can buy back futures? I don't know. So tomorrow could be a little wild. We'll have to see. Okay. So that's it for me today. Hopefully everybody saw everything today. I didn't hide anything from everybody today. And I wish everybody good luck today. Make some good trades. If we're balancing today, you look to fade the edges. Okay? Go up to resistance, you're going to want to be short. Go down to the support, you're going to want to be long. Let the market break those levels. And then let the market tell you if those levels now were weak and we're going lower. Okay? So everybody be patient, including myself. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying what could be happening. Don't take that as a trade. I'm just saying what it could be, the environment, right? If we balance, then you're edging, fading the edges. If you're breaking a key level and we hold it, then you might look for the breakout. So wish everybody good luck. Stay green. Of course, I'm always looking for subscription, likes, comments, questions. I'm trying to grow here. So hopefully share it with any trading friends or whatever. And hopefully we grow this channel. All right. So good luck to everybody today.